So I figured if I did a video about what I want to see for The Sims 3, and it was actually more of just a rant about what I liked about The Sims 2 and what I didn't like about the other ones, maybe I should do partially the same for Pokemon. And I do mean partially. Because, well, I guess I can say what I like about the other games, but, um, really the only one that's formula I really think was completely, perfect was the new one, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And I don't really need to go over like a lot of the things because I'm sure if they put them in Heart Gold, they'll put them in the new one. But I think for one of the reasons that Heart Gold worked more than any other Generation 4 game, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, is the same way Fire Red worked more than Ruby and Sapphire. Because Fire Red is about the most popular Pokemon region that has ever existed and ever will exist. Whereas Hoenn was something, people liked, but they didn't really care for. They liked it, but nothing compares to the love for Kanto. And Sinnoh, a lot of people hate Sinnoh. It's a Pokemon game, but and went back to Johto, which in turn takes you to Kanto, which is funny. Kanto is the only region that's been in every generation. Generation 1, obviously, the Kanto introduced, something like that. Red, blue, yellow, and then Generation 2, gold, silver, crystal, you go back to Kanto in those games. Generation 3 had Fire Red and Leaf Green, the remakes of Red and Blue, or Red and Green. And Generation 4 had Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where you go back to Kanto. Now, I'm guessing that's probably the end of the generations that include Kanto. Because, well, unless they go with this concept that I'm about to throw out right now, yeah, Kanto's done until they remake Red and Blue again, which I don't think they do, unless they got really outdated, because they'd have to remake Ruby and Sapphire first. But actually, technically, Kanto is the most outdated region again. Sort of. Because Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, after Ruby and Sapphire, but then Emerald came out after that, so that was more updated than Fire Red. So Kanto is the most outdated again. Hoenn's the second most outdated, though. And Sinnoh is actually the third, but... then again, Kanto wasn't... But the Kanto games themselves. Anyway, this is I liked in Heart Gold that you could just keep the running shoes on. You didn't have to hold a button. You didn't have to hold anything down. They just stayed, on. And, I like how you could preset 2 items. But I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they'll keep those in there. There's no reason to take them out. They are doing this all 3D. Now, I'll tell you in advance which one I plan to get. I plan to get white version. And I like the color white better than the color black. Yes, I am aware of 2 things. 1, white and black are not colors, and 2, the racial implications you're trying to make here. I don't care. The reason, besides the fact that I like the color white, okay, I'm sorry, again, it's not a color, but I like white more than black. Not when it comes to skin tone, just, actual white and black. And this is probably the bigger reason. I saw the legendaries, and you know how you only get 1 per game, like Groudon for Ruby and Kyogre for Sapphire. I like the one on white version more, because the one on white version looked like, I don't know. I think they're ripping off Yu-Gi-Oh! Now for some reason, but I don't understand that because Pokemon was more successful than Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever was. But anyway. Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is completely dead, so that doesn't make any sense at all. But, yeah. Now, the one from Black version looked kind of evil. He had these gleaming red eyes, and he was really dark jet black with these demon scaly wings, and the white version one looked almost kind of evil looking, but more of an angelic looking beast, like an angel compared to a demon, and I don't think that's that they were trying to do. And it wouldn't surprise me considering that Pokemon's actually tackled religion before, which I really think that was a really stupid move on their part. But, I mean, yeah, like I said, the starters could be better. They could be worse, but they could be better. I mean, I like the new fire starter better than Chimchar, but none of the other starters really look out to me. In fact, I mean, I know I'm going to pick the fire star anyway, but I mean, really, since the fire starter most likely is generally my favorite of the region, i.e. Charmander, Torchic, Cyndaquil. Except in Sinnoh, it's probably... I don't think I have a favorite Sinnoh Pokemon. Piplup. Piplup, yeah. And, Oh, there's a few more things I want to throw out here. A couple game ideas for the game in general. But I almost think that they're purposely trying to get me to stop picking the fire Pokemon. Because I despise monkeys. I don't like monkeys at all. I like Donkey Kong, but I don't like any other monkeys. Chimchar was okay. I liked him because he was a fire Pokemon. Other than that, I really didn't care for him. Now they made him a pig? I mean, pigs aren't all that bad, but I mean... Really? Why not a fire penguin? I think that would become my favorite Pokemon ever. Fire dinosaur. A fire polar bear. I don't know. But that's actually not a bad idea. They could make a water ice Pokemon, a polar bear. And that could be the final form of, I don't know, a little cub or something for the water Pokemon. And fire Pokemon... I don't know. But, just throwing that out there. Alright, and here's something that I've noticed, and I know they're not going to do this, but they really could. The games are usually too short. I mean, there's 8 badges and a Pokemon League. And usually what happens is you train a little bit between every gym and, fight some trainers, and you're good to go. You're ready for the next gym. Then you get to the Pokemon League, and it's like, what? You have to train for like 2 years just to fight in the Pokemon League. I mean, really, the last gym leader has level 30, 40 Pokemon, and then the Pokemon League has level 60, 70 Pokemon. You can't just skip that much. But, I mean, the thing is, how are you supposed to train some more? I mean, there's no one else left to fight. But, except in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Gold, Silver, Crystal, the Pokemon League is easy. Which, because you have to fight the Pokemon League before you go to Kanto, which is kind of weird. But, that is another thing I thought was stupid about Gold and Silver and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You know what I mean. Houndour is a Johto Pokemon, a brand new Johto Pokemon, but you can only catch him in Kanto. And that's what I didn't understand about the Johto games that was just so stupid. Most of the cool Johto Pokemon you can only catch in Kanto. And why that sucks is because you're only going to have them a tiny, tiny percentage of the game, and they're not going to be nearly strong enough to actually help you. Larvitar, you have to catch him in Mount Silver. Or I think you can catch him in the Safari Zone, but that's another story. That's how it always is. But I mean, really think in the Johto games, you should catch Johto Pokemon in Johto and Kanto Pokemon in Kanto. Because I found Kanto Pokemon in Johto and Johto Pokemon in Kanto, and that's just stupid. Alright, anyway, here's what I think. They should make a game where you can go to every region. You start out in Kanto, and you play as the Kanto trainer or whatever, and you can pick Charmander, Squirtle or Bulbasaur or whatever, and you go through Kanto, beat the Pokemon League, go to Johto, go to Hoenn, go to Sinnoh. 36 badges, is that what it is? I mean, that would be a really interesting concept. I don't understand why anyone doesn't want to do that. But maybe it would be too much to load, and maybe they're just jerks, but probably the second one. But yeah, or you could take the three best starters, I would say Charmander, Piplup maybe, Or, just like three most popular starters. A fire and a grass and a water. Maybe Pikachu. Or, oh, here's another thing. Why don't they remake Yellow version for the DS? That would be awesome. Just another excuse to go back to Kanto. I mean, I just went back and played Red, Yellow, and Fire Red, and I'm all hyped up on Kanto, although I'm getting a little sick of it. But, it's still the best region, and, but yeah, that's really what I want to see. But how about you guys tell me what you want to see?